Hello and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the Interchange 5th edition level 3, the Green Book, and today we're going to be finishing the unit 16, the last unit of this book. Okay? If you remember from the previous class, we were talking about, discussing personal accomplishments and talking about them in both the simple past and the present perfect. And today, in this class, we're going to be discussing goals. Okay? But to start with this, we're gonna start with this word power right here with antonyms. And if you remember, or if you know, antonyms are the opposites of words, basically. Okay, so you're gonna take your time to complete the pairs of opposites with the words in the box. Okay, then we're gonna check. So we have adaptable, courageous, insensitive, resourceful, self-sufficient, and upbeat. And we have these six. So take your time to complete this, and then we're gonna check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. Well, the opposite or the antonym of adaptable is rigid. The opposite of courageous is timid. The opposite of insensitive is compassionate. The opposite of resourceful is unimaginative. The opposite of self-sufficient is dependent, and the opposite of upbeat is cynical. If you have these answers, very good, you are correct. Okay, so now we're gonna be following with this conversation, and it's really important to pay attention to this conversation because it's gonna be really way related to the grammar that we're gonna be seeing in just a moment about goals. Okay, can you identify the goals in this conversation between the interviewer and Mike? Okay, let's listen to see.
Page 109. Exercise 8. Conversation. Where do you see yourself? Part A. Listen and practice.
Tell me a bit more about yourself. What's your greatest accomplishment?
I think my most important accomplishment was the development of a mobile app during my internship last summer.
And did you manage to finish the project?
Yes, I was able to deliver the app before the end of my internship, and it has already received lots of positive reviews from customers.
That's interesting. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I know your company already hires remote workers, and that's one of my goals for the future. So 5 years from now, I hope I'll be working from my laptop in some tropical country. A true digital nomad.
I see. And what do you hope you'll have achieved by then?
I'd like to have developed many other successful apps, and I hope I'll have seen more of the world.
Okay, very good. Did you get to find the goal that he mentioned in this conversation? You did? Yes, it's right here. He wants to work as a remote worker for a company in the future. And that will be really interesting, working in every place that you want. It should be great. Okay. And this is related to the grammar that we're going to be seeing today. How to describe goals and possible future accomplishments. For this, as always, I have a material for you. Okay. Goals for the future. I hope I will go to New Zealand one day. This is a way to say, to have a goal. And the way to use this is with the future perfect, okay? It's really similar to the present perfect and the past perfect. It's just working with the future tense. It is specific for when something will be completed in the future. This is when we use future perfect. So it's perfect for goals. Okay, we start with will or would like to, then have plus past participle, the same as all of the other present perfect and past perfect, the use of past participle. So we start with will or would like to, have past participle, and then by the time, before, within, it's basically the time or action in the future or the duration of time in the future. Okay, so it's basically I would like to do this by this time or in this time or in the future. Okay, let's see some examples. I hope I will have gone to New Zealand before I'm old. Okay, there's a way to start. I hope I will have gone to New Zealand before I'm old, by the time. I would like to have gone to New Zealand within 5 years. Okay? So here We are now here. This is the now. The first action that happens is going to New Zealand, and this is before I'm old, like in the next 5 years. This is a way to graphically describe this. Okay, so it's really easy. The way to talk about goals in the future is basically to use future perfect to complete something before a time in the future. Okay, that's it. If you understand it, fine by me. I'm happy to hear that or to know that. Okay, so let's see in the grammar here. With the future perfect, it's what we were seeing. What do you hope you'll have achieved? I hope I'll have seen more of the world. This is a way to say the goal. We would like to plus have sorry, we would like to have plus past participle. This is another way. What would you like to have achieved? It's like, what would you like to complete by this time? I'd like to have developed many successful apps. It's basically another way to say goals. And it's really easy as well. It's just using this. Would like to have and past participle. Would like to have achieved. Would like to have completed. Would like to have traveled, etc., etc., etc. Okay, I hope you understand this because it's quite easy. And it's really interesting to see that the last grammar for the book, it's a really easy one. But okay, very good. Now let's continue with a listening. Okay? You're gonna listen to three young people describe their plans for the future. What do they hope they will achieve by the time they are 30? And why does each person have his or her specific dream? You're gonna list one reason for each person, okay? So take your time to listen as much times as you need, as many times as you need, and then we're gonna check both part A and B, okay? Okay, so let's listen.
Page 110. Exercise 10. Listening. My dream career. Part A. Listen to three young people describe their plans for the future. What do they hope they will have achieved by the time they're 30? 1. Hugo.
Protecting the environment is something that is really important to me. We only have one chance with our planet, so we need to keep finding new ways to live that don't destroy it. By the time I'm 30, I'd like to have established my career as a green architect. I have lots of ideas for building with recycled materials, and there are so many environmentally friendly ways to create energy. I think green building is the architecture of the future, and I want to be a huge part of that.
2. Aaron.
I know what makes people happy, and I know about luxury. That's why by the time I turn 30, I'll have opened the world's biggest luxury hotel chain, and it'll be a huge success. I don't have any money right now, but I know I can convince rich people to invest in my hotel. I'll start with one hotel in every major European city, and then, by the time I'm 40, I'd like to have retired so I can travel all over the world and stay in my hotels.
3. Danny.
Ever since I was little, I've loved animals. We always had pets in my family. Cats, birds, even snakes. And they always made me so happy. That's why I'm going to veterinary school. I want to take care of animals so they can make other people happy. I hope that by the time I'm 30, I'll have started working full-time as a veterinarian. My dream is to have my own clinic 5 years after that.
Okay, very good. Did you get the answers for all of this about the dream careers? If you do, let's check. Okay, so what Hugo hope that he'll achieve? He hopes that he'll have established his career as a green architect. And what about Erin? She'll have opened the world's biggest luxury hotel chain. And what about Danny? He'll have started working full time as a veterinarian, and by age 35, he'll have his own clinic. Good luck for you. And what are the reasons? Okay, for Hugo is that protecting the environment is important to him. He has lots of ideas for building with recyclable recyclable materials, and green building is the architecture of the future. About Erin is that she knows what makes people happy and she knows about luxury. And for Danny is that he loves animals and they make people happy. Okay? Really good, really good, really good reasons for you there. Okay? Very good. Okay, now we're gonna go to the last thing for this book. And as always, it's a reading. Soaring like an eagle. Okay, you're gonna take your time to read all of this. And now, after you finish reading this, we're gonna be doing these two exercises right here, part B and A. And C. You're gonna read the article and answer these questions and choose the correct answers for these statements. Okay, take your time, and when you finish, we're gonna check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. Okay, so according to the writer, how often do people become highly successful? It's pretty rarely. What were two disadvantages that Michael Edwards overcame? His weight and his poor eyesight. And how did Edwards do at the Calgary Olympics in 1988? He finished last. Oh wow. Okay. And for this one, okay, Michael Edwards chose ski jumping instead of downhill skiing because, C, there were few British ski jumpers. After the Calgary Olympics, Edwards, A, felt he had reached his goal. And number 3, Michael Edwards is outstanding because of C, his enthusiasm for the sport. If you have these answers, very good. You are correct. Okay, that's been everything for today and for this book. I hope that you like these classes and I hope that you really enjoyed them and learned as much as you can. Well, that's been everything for today, so see you. Bye.